Hello, it's Jules Mulcahy, Damsels in Success Director for Enfield. And hello, P. Powell. Sorry if I just working out how to say your surname there. I'm here today to talk about Damsels in Success, of which I am a director. But I'm also talking about it from the perspective of becoming a member. Back in 2013, at the end of the year, in November, I went along to a conference that was for women, entirely for women, had women speakers and a female audience. And it was run and sponsored by Damsels in Success. Now, I went along at the very early stages of me venturing into running my own business, and I went and I was extremely shy, and I was actually quite scared about going along and introducing myself and networking and trying to form relationships to gain clients. And it was all very, very strange and new to me at that time. And I went along, and what I found was such a warm and embracing group of women, firstly. And, you know, the thoughts of networking in the traditional business sense soon left my mind as I just began to connect with women who I got introduced to, and I just got to know them. And that was the beginning, and that's where I first signed up to become a member. And from there until today, I have been on an incredible learning journey, one which, as a person who is just leaving the traditional experience of work where you go and you have a job. I was a teacher for around 20 years, and so I had a job in public service, and over those years I hadn't really realised how much my own personality and who I am intrinsically had been sort of like squashed down, and how many masks I'd been wearing. Dependent on who I was speaking to, you would have seen a different person showing up, whether that had been in my own home life as wife and mother and daughter and sister, or if it had been in the work situation, you know, as a teacher with a student, as a teacher with a colleague, a teacher with the head teacher, and so on and so forth. I just felt a bit schizophrenic, really. And therefore, when I first ventured out and wanted to change my life, I was extremely lucky to have found Damsels in Success as quickly as I did, because I walked into a community that had such amazing values, ones that really struck a chord with me. Hello, Damsels Newport. Hello, hello. How are you? And what I would say is, while we're here together and I'm talking about these values and especially how they've impacted on me, hey, how are you, Becky? It's lovely to have you here. They are incredibly important to anyone who wants to change their life, is the way I feel. The very first value in Damsels in Success, and the one that makes our meetings so special and safe, is that we don't judge, we encourage. Now, it's easier said than done not to judge people. We do it all the time. And I know for myself, one of the worst culprits in my own life for judging was me. I judged myself or compared myself to everybody. There were people who I saw who I held above me, and I thought, oh gosh, I'll never get there. They're so amazing. How have they done it? And in many ways that kept me small, because I couldn't see how I could change and become like them. And actually, I never will be like them. And that's really why the judgment thing is just, to be honest, silly. Because what we need to do is find out who we are inside. Hello, Serene Duvalil. It's lovely to have you here. So we need to find out who we are. So if you are encouraged to become more of you, and you're not judged, and you are allowed to expand, then you no longer need to compare yourself, and you no longer need to judge people. You just need to know that they are on their own path, and they have their own gifts and their own strengths, and you encourage them out of them. So that's our very first value. Our second one, and this one took me a little while, okay? The second one is we fill ourselves up first. And for a long time, hi Scott, lovely to have you here. For a long time that was difficult for me, and the reason it was so difficult is that as a wife and mother, I put my children first. As a teacher, I often put my students first, and I was getting more and more pressed down and worn out, and you know, actually my energy was being drained. And so this new way of being, oh, thanks Scott for inviting followers. If anyone else wants to do that, you either swipe up or swipe to the side. And I'll just mention, if you haven't been on Periscope before, if you tap on the screen, you will be able to send up a flurry of hearts, and I'll just know that you're here. And obviously you can also comment. So, you know, please do feel free to ask a question or just make a comment, and we can interact in that way. And thank you. I'm guessing that's Scott, because it's the same colour as your name that came up, with a flurry of hearts. So tap, 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 and I will get more from everybody. That would be so nice. So I was on filling yourself up, and that's what we do at Damsels. And actually now my month where I go to Enfield and I run my event, usually I sandwich it in between Warwick and Enfield, and then I have a weekend and I'm away from home, and so I fill myself up once a month, which is really good, because I do choose to do as many things in that weekend as I possibly can. That is all about me, and it's really good, because when I come back off after that weekend, I'm re-energized, and my family therefore can take top priority at that time, and I'm able to give them. But the best way of filling yourself up is to make it happen on a daily basis. If you enjoy a walk like I do, then go out and have that walk, and then when you come back you can do things for other people. It's a bit like when you're on the aeroplane, you're told as an adult to put the oxygen mask on you before you do the smaller children, because you have to be able to give them your energy. You have to be able to be on max. You know, you want to be vibrating at the highest, and that means giving yourself the compassion and the love that you really deserve. Value number 3, we take personal responsibility and we look inward. Now I'm doing a journey at the moment all about clarity and the 3 principles, and so I'm really working on this value in a huge way. And really what it is that when we look out into our world, we only see a small amount, really. We have only the capacity to take in a certain amount of information, and so we take in from our world the way we want to see it, in a way, and it's how our thought processes work. So when you begin to look at what thought processes you take, for example, me and changing to filling myself up, that took work. I had to start noticing the mind chatter that was going on. I had to notice that sometimes I was actually not only not filling myself up, I was bringing myself down, and with the comparison of others, and, you know, making myself small. So when you want to take personal responsibility, you start to open up choices in your life, and you are leading your life rather than it leading you. And it's really, really such a huge piece of learning and a huge turnaround in so many people's lives. So as a member of Damsels in Success, if you're not doing that already, I can guarantee that that will take place, because the women who join Damsels in Success, the transformations you see around you are just amazing and spectacular. Women just begin to shine more and more. Our next value is that we embrace our imperfections and we step up and shine. And why do we do that? Well, firstly, no one can be perfect. So forget that, because that will just stop you dead in your tracks. You are never going to achieve anything if you keep going for perfection. It's unattainable. But also, when I talked about that first bit about judgment, when you start to become more of who you are, you start to actually see that the things that make you different, the things that you might have originally criticized about yourself, are those things that make you special. And so those are the things to just to bring out even more. Number 5 is we let go of control and trust. And I can tell you that when I joined Damsels in Success and I started working on me, I stopped working on my husband. Amazingly, you know, I'd been trying to change him for the better, obviously, because I could see his potential and I just wanted him to be able to do all of these things. And when I stopped doing that, when I focused back into myself, do you know what? It was amazing how much he changed as a result. And it wasn't about me doing it, it was about him doing it. And it was much, much better. And personal development is personal development. You can only ever work on yourself. You can advise people, you can coach people, but it happens from within. Yeah, like that one. So yeah, it's really good to let go of control. And I'm looking down every now and then because I'm reading each of them. They are absolutely what I live by, but I just want that reminder. So number 6 is we bring love and light to every situation. Yeah, what do I mean about that one? That for me is in essence the idea of Damsels in Success is that women are allowed to be women. We are at our most feminine best. We bring in soft power. We nurture, we use compassion, we love openly, and these are all absolutely glorious feminine qualities, and they make such a difference to the world. It's almost like if you bought a plant, and if you bought a plant and you never watered it, it's going to shrivel and die. And actually, when you bring your love and light to another person, you're helping it blossom, you're helping it grow, you're doing that very first one, encouraging. So it goes back, they're all intertwining. Number 7, we use the best masculine systems so that we can remain in our feminine. And what do I mean by that? At Damsels in Success, it is a business. It's a business in a box. We have we use Infusionsoft to send out our emails. We have a systematic way that we run our groups. So if you went to a group, the format will be very similar for each group, but what is different about each group is the personality of the leader that is delivering. So we work within a system so that we can shine even more. And number 8, we ask for help and we are happy to receive it. So right now I'm going to ask for your help. I'm going to make that something that I'm doing right now. I'm going to ask you that at the end of this broadcast, if you've enjoyed it, that you look at my tweet and you share it or you retweet it, or you can, as I say, you can use your screen to flash up or flash down and share this broadcast here and now. You can tap on your screen and give me a flurry of hearts. All of these things I'm asking for and I am happy to receive, but I'm not expecting anything from you. It is completely up to you whether you wish to do that. So, that's my asking for help, to retweet my Twitter message about this Periscope while the replay is still active, and to share it now. And I say thank you for that. And that was number, where are we? That was number 8. Woo. And our last value, and by no means our least, because as I say they all intertwine, is We don't get caught up in the drama. Whoa, is that one to live by? What does it mean? It means that where you are taking responsibility for your choices, where you are standing up and being accountable, you're letting go of the drama, you're letting go of being a victim, and you're not going to get entwined in anybody else's. You may listen, you may encourage, but to get into it, it's so easy when you're listening to somebody who's telling you about a story in their life and they're angry, that you can get caught up in their anger with them. But actually removing yourself from it and acknowledging that that's their story, that's their perception of the world in that moment, is so healthy. And then you are able to help more, obviously. This very last value actually allows each and every one of the directors of Damsels in Success become leaders, because when you're not part of the drama and you are somebody there who can help other people through it and out of it, then you are a leader. So that's the values of Damsel Success, and the reason that it's changed my life so incredibly is because I follow each of those values. They are now intrinsic to who I am. They are intrinsic to my life, and thank you. And that's why I'm able to be on air broadcasting on Periscope, because now I live in the present and I want to make a difference to the world, and I want to encourage other women across the UK and hopefully at some stage into Ireland, join this fabulous community and make a real difference to all of our lives, because the more women that take on the soft power and femininity and actually embrace it and encourage everybody around them, well, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think that's going to make a big difference to the world? I think so. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you being here. And this is unusual for me. Periscope for me usually happens around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. But today my internet was so poor I couldn't get on. So I've had to change my time, and that therefore probably means I've got a very different audience. And I thank you for being here with me. I'm going to say goodbye now. Bye.